What is going on, guys? We're back at it with another one. Today we're going to do some how-to rig up a yellowtail candy jig and how to fish in a canal behind a house. We're going to be fishing a broken up dock today. There's a lot of structure that fell in the water from this dock. We'll show you that dock in a second. There's a lot of snappers and sheep's head around it. So I'm going to first show you how to rig up a yellowtail candy jig. First off, I tied myself a long leader. I have like a 10-foot leader on of like 25-pound GT U-Pro fluorocarbon. And of course, we got our yellowtail candy jigs in 1/8 white. I did run out of them not too long ago, but I just got stocked back up with these white 1/8 yellowtail candy jigs. We have chartreuse right now at the store, and that's my second best color that I use. And come down to Rose Marina in Marco Island, 951 Bald Eagle Drive. You can come see me, Eric, or my buddy Orion, and we'll point you into the right direction. Don't litter. I'm going to put that in my pocket. I'm just going to pull one of these jig heads out, and I'll show you what it looks like. Here it is right here. Just a small little like #2 hook and a 1/8 ounce lead weight painted in white. So we're going to tie a loop knot. And the first thing you want to do is take your leader line and you're going to form a half hitch. Just an overhand knot like that. Close it up a little bit, not all the way. You're then going to take your leader line and go through the eyelet of your yellowtail candy jig. Bring it all the way to that overhand half hitch that you did there. You're now going to take your tag end. This is now called your tag. And you're going to wrap it around your main leader line 4 times, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now you're going to take your tag end and go through that overhand knot that you tied. And then I like to use my teeth to grab the tag end, and then you're going to pull straight up on your main line. Just like that. And you're going to have yourself a really strong, easy to do, quick to tie loop knot. You do want to cut off this big tag. You don't want to cut all the tag off just in case a larger fish cinches down a knot, doesn't get pulled through. I'm going to cut my tag end. And I have a little bit of tag on there, not too much, just in case. Like I said, if it gets pulled really tight, the tag end doesn't go all the way through and your knot comes undone. And I did pick up 4 dozen 48 large shrimp from Rose Marina. We sell them for $5 a dozen right out at our boat rental shack. You're more than welcome to come in to see me, purchase some tackle first, and you can purchase your shrimp with your tackle and go pick them up on your way out. So we're going to get a live shrimp on, and we'll get back to you shortly. Got my 4 dozen shrimp in my live well, and I get asked the question all the time, Eric, how do you hook a shrimp? How do you fish with shrimp around docks? How come I keep on catching catfish? Well, guys, this is the dock we were fishing. You could fish right alongside your own dock behind your rental house. Most of the fish here down in South Florida are structure-oriented fish, so you're going to find your snappers and sheep's head and snook sitting by docks and mangroves, just like what's all around me. If you cast out into the middle, yeah, you can catch a snook, you can catch a snapper, but there's a lot of catfish that sit out in the middle of the channels here. So I highly recommend just dropping down by your dock or casting to a neighbor's dock. So now I'm going to show you how to hook a shrimp. We got ourselves a live shrimp and our yellowtail candy jig head. And how I always explain how to hook a shrimp to people at the store is just imagine you're grabbing a cocktail shrimp right where your thumb and index finger sits, right on the shrimp there, that extra hard shell above the fan of the tail there is exactly where I put my hook. And I put it in one side here, right out the other side, just like that. And the hook lays streamlined and it kind of blends in with the shrimp a little bit, and also gives you a little head weight if you feel like casting your shrimp out. So all I do is I'm going to flip it right under this dock here. I'm going to open up my bail. I'm going to do a sidearm cast, skip it right under the dock. Let your jig head go to the bottom. I like to leave my bail open and finger on the line. Once I get a bite, the snapper or sheep's head is going to take line. I'm going to let him take it for 3 or 4 seconds. I'm going to close my bail and set the hook. So let's wait for a bite and I'll get back to you when we get something on. And we got our first bite right here. I let the fish take it for a few seconds, and he's got me in something. That is going to happen when you're fishing broken up docks like this. The fish is still on. Feels pretty big, but he's all snagged up in something, unfortunately. So I'm going to give him some slack and see if he comes out. If not, we're just going to have to break off. It doesn't feel like the fish is coming out of here. I think he wrapped me around a couple of dock pilings and then went into something. Yeah, I had to break off, I think. Yep, so I did break off. Fish went into some structure, so it's time to retie on another yellowtail candy jig and put another shrimp on and flip back under. I tied another yellowtail candy jig on with a loop knot, and I'm gonna hook the shrimp, like I said before, right through that hard shell above the fan, from one side right out the other, just like that. We're gonna flip them back under the dock. Right over there. Again, leave your bail open, keep your finger on the line, and just wait for the bite. So we have a runoff right here. Got something good on. I think it's a snapper. Yep, little mangrove snapper. A little too small to keep, so we're gonna toss them back in. I just flipped another shrimp under the dock. That last mangrove snapper, I kind of wanted to explain a little bit about the snapper itself, but I had my mother on the other line, so I just released that snapper. So the next one we catch, I'll explain a little bit about it. Got something playing around with my shrimp. There it is. Came back, taking some line, letting him take it, and set the hook on him. He's wrapped around his dock piling. Darn it, man. I'm getting him out. Oh, I think I know what it is. It's a stingray. Definitely something I did not want to see. This is some of the bycatch you're gonna get. Someone cut off his tail. That's not right. Check this stingray out. That's not right to do at all, guys. I know you don't want to get stabbed by a stingray, but it is not right whatsoever to cut off a stingray's tail like that. Someone definitely did that on purpose. You see he's pretty beat up. Yeah, he doesn't even have his stinger anymore. That's not right to do. Even if you don't like a certain type of fish, whether it be a catfish or a stingray, you should not harm the animal. You could simply cut the line and release him. You don't have to bring him on board. The hook will eventually rust out of the stingray, and this stingray did swallow the hook, and I'm gonna see if I can get the hook out of him. The stingray does not have a stinger on it, as you see. Unfortunately, someone cut it off. We're just gonna lay the stingray in the water and let him go. And there he goes, back home under the dock. Got a runoff, got something good on here. Hopefully he doesn't get all snagged up. I feel him rubbing up against stuff already. Let's see what it is. It's a redfish. How about that? Little tiny red. Just a little puppy. That's all right though. Now redfish have to be 18 to 27 inches to keep. This guy might make the mark, but I release most of my fish. I do keep some snappers. Check him out. Look at that dot on his tail. Perfectly hooked right in the corner of the mouth. All right, got him off. Check him out one more time. And we're gonna let him go. And I think he, oh, yep, and he jumped right out of my hands. Awesome. Let's get another bait on and catch another one. Just casted in and immediately got a fish on, and he came off. That's okay though. I think it was a snapper, and somehow my shrimp rehooked itself. I hooked that shrimp in the tail, and look where it hooked itself there. I'm just gonna flip this back underneath, just the way it is. It probably will fall off, but oop. I casted right up onto the person's dock. Let's try to get it underneath the dock this time. Right over there like that. Skip it underneath. These yellowtail candies do skip pretty good, and wait on a bite again. Now I have a pretty much a dead shrimp on, but that's okay. Fresh dead shrimp do work. Redfish like fresh dead shrimp, so let's see if we can get another red. So got another runoff. Give him a few seconds, close the bail, and there he is. Oh, he broke me off. Where did I break off? I broke off. Huh. Wow. Not at my knot. That's how you can tell my knot's pretty good. Hold on, if I can get the line. It's kind of windy out. There it is. There's my knot right there. That's where my leader broke right there. So obviously I broke off on some sort of structure. I'm gonna have to tie a new leader on. My leader was a little light. I didn't change it up for my freshwater fishing. So let's get a heavier leader on. Since I just broke off most of my leader, I was gonna refer you guys actually to another video how to tie the FG knot. But since I just broke off my leader there, I'm gonna show you how to tie an FG knot right now. So I think it's a 20-pound braided line on my reel, Invisibraid by Spider Wire, which we do carry at Rose Marina. I'm gonna put the braid into my mouth, just like that, and then I'm gonna take my leader, which I'm using 40-pound GTU Pro Fluorocarbon. I'm gonna lay it across the top of my braid. Next, I'm gonna bring my fluorocarbon leader under the braid this way, and then I'm gonna bring it under this way, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. This knot needs tension, so I'm gonna put the braid in my mouth, and I'm not gonna be able to talk. All right, I just did 21 wraps. Like I said, I went under this way, pulled tight, then I went under the other way and pulled tight. Odd numbers start up here, even numbers are on this side. And I did 21 wraps. I'm holding that wrap with my thumb and index finger so it doesn't come undone. Now you have to close your FG knot. So you have a nice generous tag end there, you have a tag end of braid. You're gonna take your braid and you're gonna form an overhand knot around both your braid, around both your braid and tag end of your fluorocarbon leader. Hold tight. I'm gonna do it one more time, again, around my braid and fluorocarbon leader. And pull tight. That is an FG knot. Now you have these long tag ends. You want to cut your fluorocarbon down almost to your wraps. I just have a little nub of a tag end sticking out. Now your knot is basically done, but you still have that little bit of a fluorocarbon nub there. That is going to clank on your eyelets of your rod. So what I like to do is I'll make an overhand knot around my braid, and I'm going to slip that knot as it tightens up over top of that little nub of fluorocarbon. Like that. I do it 4 times. I do once over here, once over there, once over here, and once over there. Make one wrap around your hand with the fluorocarbon, one wrap around your hand with the braid. Just make sure your hands are not wet when you do this, and hold tight. Just like that. All right. Now I'm gonna cut this tag end of braid pretty short. And that is an FG knot. That is one of the strongest knots that you could tie for braid to fluoro or braid to mono splice. And it is super slender, and it'll go through the eyes of your rod without clanking all the way down and giving you short casts. And I like to give myself generous amounts of leader. I'm gonna do like 10 or 12 foot of it, and I'm already down to just 2 yellowtail candy jigs. Kind of my fault. I never changed up my light 15-pound fluorocarbon leader from freshwater fishing. And I'll show you the loop knot one more time. You're gonna form an overhand knot with your fluorocarbon leader. Pull it tight, but not all the way tight. You're gonna go through the eyelet of your yellowtail candy jig head down to that overhand knot you formed. And you're gonna take your tag end, your fluorocarbon, and wrap it 4 times around the main leader line of your fluoro. 1, 2, 3, and can't get it, and 4. All right, and now you're gonna go back through that little loop you made. Pull tight. just like that, and you have a very simple, very effective, strong knot. Again, you want to cut your tag end down, not all the way. Leave yourself a little bit of tag end hanging out just in case the big fish pulls it tight, your tag end doesn't slip through your wraps. Flip it right under there. That's a better cast. You don't have to flip under the docks. You kind of want it near a dock at least. Cast right on the edge of it, alongside of it. I like to flip underneath docks. Here we go, got a runoff right here. Let's see what it is. Feels like a snapper, I think. Come on, get out of that. Going right to the structure. No, it's an invasive species that's not supposed to be here. I'm definitely going to take it with me. You'll see what it is in a second. It is a Mayan cichlid. Check that out. Related to the peacock bass. Not supposed to be here. Found in Central and South America. And it's a quite large one. Nickname for them is Atomic Sunny. And we're going to keep this fish because he is not supposed to be here. These are freshwater fish living in salt water. Hey, and they have some pretty sharp spines, so just be careful. Really hard to hold on to, very slimy, spiny fish. Yep. Oop, he fell right out of my hand. All right, let's get a good view of him. Check him out right there. That is a Mayan cichlid. Very pretty fish, almost very similar looking to a peacock bass that you find typically in the Amazon. You do have peacock bass here in Southwest Florida. I'm going to keep this guy. I'm going to dispatch the fish so he doesn't suffer inside the cooler, and we're going to fillet him up later. It's been a little while since we got a bite, but I have something right now, I think. Yep. Hopefully it's not another cichlid. This time it is a snapper, but he seems I say he's a little too small. Yeah, I say he's like an inch too small, but it is the right species that we're going after. Just got to be very careful with these snappers. They have sharp spines. Come on, and sharp teeth. They don't call them snappers for no reason. Okay. All right, there he is. Check out those fangs that little snapper has in there. I've been bit before and they hurt pretty good. They also have very sharp gill plates. Right here is a place you have to be very careful over your thumb and index finger. And also they have spines right up top here that are very sharp. We're gonna let this guy go and hopefully catch a bigger one. See ya. Just made a cast over to the mangroves on the other side of the creek. Let's see if there's anything over there. The bite's super slow under this dock right now, and I have an otter right here. I don't know if you just saw that. I think you saw it on the GoPro pop his head out. That's pretty funny. He's under the boat. Look at the bubbles. There he is. Hey. He's playing around with me now. Where are you going, buddy? Oh man, these otters are funny. We are getting another bite, and this is going to be the last shrimp, fish or not, and we got the fish on. Hopefully we can get him out of the structure, which I think we are. And I think we finally got our keeper snapper. Yeah, here we go, guys. This is what we've been after all day. We finally got a keeper snapper. He's about 11 inches or so. He is definitely going in the ice box. Check him out. Big old fangs on him. Hooked perfectly in the corner of the mouth. Today is the start of part 2 of the how-to video, and right now we're going to be going over to Sanibel Island to cast net some live baits. Now if you come down to Rose Marina, we do have cast nets just like the one I'll be using in a few minutes, and you yourself can learn how to use the cast net from me, Eric, through this video. Cast net yourself some live baits and you'll be able to catch a lot more snook and redfish. So we'll see you down at the island. We just made it to the cast net spot. So I am actually in Sanibel Island right now. My father lives up this way, so that's why I fish up here a lot. I have my cast net with me today. I will be cast netting the Sanibel Causeway. There is a school of pilchards right along this wall. It's a little windy, so it might be hard for you guys to hear me, but I see what I'm after already. I wanted to place my GoPro up on my bucket so you could actually see it a little bit better, my cast netting, but it's just too windy to hear me, so I have to keep it on my chest mount. Anyhow, we got our cast net here. This is a 6-foot jack cast net that I sell at Rose Marina down in Marco Island, where you guys come to visit me. Anyhow, I'm going to show you how to throw this. So we have our cord here. I put it around my wrist, and I'm just going like this, just grabbing it 1 foot at a time, and just coiling it up into my hand, my right hand, since I'm righty. And I made a little knot right here where I want to stop making my coils. So now I'm going to pull up on the top part of the cast net. And you guys always want to make sure you clear out the cast net, okay? So what I do is I put my foot in between, I throw one side to the right, one side to the left. And now I'm just going to check to make sure nothing's wrapped up, otherwise our cast net won't open all the way. So just check around, make sure everything looks good, nothing is tangled up. Check the left side, the middle looks okay. Let's check the right side, and it seems to be okay as well. So again, we're going to pull up on the cast net, bring it together, and I grab about 1/3 of the way down, about right there. And you're going to let that top piece hang right in the front, and you have the rest of the cast net hanging down there. You're going to grab a lead from the middle of the line, from the middle of the net, excuse me, and you're going to bring it up and put it in between your index and thumb finger on your right hand. Now you're going to grab down about knees length, about right here. So this lead was down by my knee, and I'm going to flip the lead line towards me. So now we have a bunch of the net bunched up in our right hand with the coils. We have a lead in our left hand and our thumb and index finger. Our next step is going to be throwing it on top of the bait. I kind of get like a baseball stance when I do it. When you throw, you're throwing everything out of your right hand, and this left lead is going to kind of be pulled out of your hand. You're not actually throwing that. It's going to be pulled out of your hand. So I see a bunch of pilchards down here. We're going to get these pilchards and try to catch snook. Most important part of the cast net throw is the spin. You really want to have a nice spin to it. Otherwise, it's not going to open up all the way for you. So let's see if we can show you how that's done. So we just got a bunch of pilchards or scaled sardines. Now we're gonna dump them into our bucket. All we're gonna do is pull up on the top of the cast net, and then you're gonna grab it one side and just shake. And a lot of that bait will fall out. The smaller ones get caught up in the net, that's okay. We just want the larger ones anyhow. And you wanna make sure you get aeration on these guys right away, or they'll die on you. So I have my aerator, which we also have these hush bubbles at Rose Marina. Want to make sure, put your hose through the hole in the lid of the bucket first, which we have lids as well as at Rose Marina. Snap her on there. There's a clip right on the lid for where your air pump goes. Connect your hose to the top outlet of the air pump. 1 second. And then there's an on-off switch. We're gonna flick it on and check to make sure, yep, we got aeration. Now we're gonna get a few dozen more of these baits and head back and go catch some snook. I forgot to mention, you also want to check your bucket for dead ones. You don't want any dead white baits in there because it'll make the water quality go down. I shut off my air pump, and you can see all this foam up top. Just use your hand, kind of stir it around, it'll go away. And I'm seeing a few dead ones. You want to make sure those come out of the bucket right away. Otherwise your water quality will be really bad and the rest will die. We made it to the spot. We're actually fishing the same area as we did yesterday, except I'm fishing the mangrove pocket across the way from the dock that I was fishing for the snappers. So you still have your yellowtail candy jig on. I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to check my leader. I'm going to cut it up here because it's chafed below that. And I picked up myself a pack of these 4-aught mustad circle hooks at Rose Marina. And I'm going to show you how to do the loop knot just one more time. The more times you see the knot being done, the better off for you guys to learn it. So, like we did yesterday, I'm going to do an overhand knot. Just like that. Don't cinch it down all the way. I'm going to grab my circle hook. I'm going through the eye of the hook. It doesn't matter which way, front or back. You're going to bring your overhand knot to the eyelet of the hook, just like that. Now we're going to do 4 wraps with the tag line around the main leader line. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to take our tag end and go through that overhand knot by your eyelet of your hook, just like that. And we're going to, I use my teeth to hold the tag end and I pull up on the main leader line. Just like that. And like I mentioned, you want to cut your tag but not all the way down. So I left a little bit of my tag there just in case it pulls extra tight, the tag doesn't slide all the way through. Unfortunately, we lost about half of our bait on our way back to the boat. I wanted to show you guys how to catch bait from a seawall since most of my customers are fishing from land. If you have access to a boat like I do, and you could hit up some shallows around some structure and get yourself some of those scaled sardines or white baits, whatever you want to call them, pilchards. They have many names down here. But anyhow, I'm going to hook my scaled sardine through the eye area, and I'll show you that in a second. And like I said, we're going to go right through the eye socket right here, just like that. And I'm going to put them in the water for a second. I'm going to get the GoPro on my chest and we're going to toss them in. The funny thing was, I was getting my GoPro set up back on my chest mount and I had the scaled sardine off the side of the boat. Thank God I was watching and a little snook just grabbed it right here. Oh man, you can't make it up. Well, that's our first snook of the day. And it's just a small guy. He's probably like 18 inches or so. So let me get the GoPro on my chest and I'll show you this snook in a second. Okay, got the GoPro on my chest. This was an unexpected first fish, that's for sure. Let's get him on board. Oh man, look at this little snook. Just like an 18-incher. Pretty funny though. Was not expecting that fish whatsoever. Just had the bait laying right on the side of the boat. Literally just skimming the surface of the water, and he came up and smacked it. We're gonna let this little guy go. See ya. All right, let's get a new bait on there, because I don't think this bait's doing so well anymore. Funny, real funny though. So here's a bucket of my dead sardines, and I might actually have something going on with my bait right now. I don't know. Oh, yep. There's something attacking my pilchard. All right, so he just took some line. I don't know if he's still there. I think he is. And what I'm gonna do now is I close my bail and I'm gonna reel down. Yep, there's a fish still there. Good fish. I think it's a red, decent sized red. Yeah, it's a nice red. Can't beat that. Pretty pumped about a redfish. And it's a good one. It's the biggest one I've caught this month in the creek. All the redfish I've been catching were like 12 to 15 inches. Don't go in the engine. And this one is like 20, 21, maybe 22. He's fighting pretty darn good though. Awesome. Really sick. Pumped about that. What a beautiful fish this is. And, oh, maybe not. I think he's ready to come in. Come on, buddy. All right. There he is. Awesome, awesome fish. In Marco Island, this would be a keeper size redfish. Where I am, you're actually not allowed to keep redfish right now. Either way, keep them or not, I always let them go. Check that out. Beautiful, beautiful redfish. Look at that dot on that tail. Perfection of a redfish. Golden color, red in the tail. Beautiful fish. I'm gonna put the camera down for a second, then we're gonna let this guy go. Just got a couple pictures with this beautiful red. Time to let this guy go. And like I said, this would be a keeper at Marco Island, but I'm currently fishing in Fort Myers, and you cannot keep redfish in Fort Myers right now. So I like to grab him by the tail. He's a little slippery, and there he goes. I couldn't hold on to him. My hands were all slimed up, but he took off just fine. What I kind of like to do, hopefully I can show you with a snook, is gently sway them back and forth, get the lactic acid out of them, and they should take off on their own. We're gonna flip this guy into the mangroves. The key is to get as close to the mangroves or whatever structure you're fishing. That's perfect. That's right in front of those mangrove roots right over there. So we're just gonna wait out a bite and hopefully we can get a big snook, the next fish. We have another runoff. And it is there, okay? Another nice fish. Tighten the drag a little bit. This is a good fish. Real nice fish. Pretty darn big. I can't turn this fish. He's going right towards this dock. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. This fish knows exactly what, oh, I just turned it in time. It's a big jack, giant jack. Giant jackfish. Wait till you see the size of this one. I'm surprised he's not taking off like a banshee. He's going around the front. You want to follow your fish. Always follow your fish. This is a giant jack. Probably the biggest that I caught in this creek. Real good fish. Really excited about this fish. Just got to keep him away from that dock. He knows where he wants to go. Please don't go there. Please don't. Okay, he's running out in the middle. That's okay. Burning line. Real good fish. This is like a 15-pound jack. I really don't want to lose this fish. Gotta try to turn him away from that dock. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Broke me off on that dock. That was like a 15-pound jack or so. It's all right, we're gonna retie, get another live bait out there. Something just slammed this pilchard. Man, took off. Jumped way out there, took a bunch of line. Yeah, nice fish. I think it's a snook. Pretty sure it is by the way it's jumping like that. Swimming right at me right now. Not sure how big it is. Not bad, like a 25-inch snook. But man, he took line like he was like a 40-incher or something. I thought it was gonna be another jack, but I am happy with this fish right here. Oh, the stake. These fish know where to go. Trying to go for my stick and anchor, the engine, the dock, the mangroves. They know how to break you off. All right. Don't go under the boat, come on. This little guy's fighting pretty hard for his size. Real nice. All right, I think he's close to done. Come on, buddy. Come on. All right. Hard fighting little snook. I kind of just grab him right by the lips. Just watch out for that hook. And snook thrash really hard, even little snook like this. Just pop that circle hook out. There it is, okay. And there he is, just a little 25-incher. Not too big, perfect size though. Love these little snook. We're gonna get a quick picture with him and we're gonna release him. Time to let this young gun go. I'm just gonna kneel down. I'm grabbing him by the tail. And like I said, just hold him by the tail, just like this, and sway them back and forth, and they'll definitely let you know when they're ready to go. I already feel his muscles starting to work. We're just gently shaking the lactic acid out of him. And there he goes. See you, little guy. Awesome, really sick. Hopefully we get a bigger one. Real nice. Well, we're heading in for the day. I think I covered all bases, how to rig up for snappers. Unfortunately, the other day we just caught a bunch of Mayan cichlids and one keeper snapper, a couple shorts. So I hope you guys were able to learn something from this video. And my friends, always stay fishing, and we'll see you on the next one.